Charlotte, this is going to be your seventh WrestleMania. What does this WrestleMania mean and represent to you?
I want to say it gets easier with experience, but it doesn't. I think pressure, expectation, um, all of it kind of adds up.
Yeah.
Having to rise to the occasion that many times and on the grandest stage. I've always either been a contender or a champion. And here I am going into my seventh with the performances and the rivalries I've already had. It makes it, yes, with experience, I know what it's like to be out there, but my own personal pressure and my own goals and my own expectations for myself and my performance, I feel like the weight of the world is on my back right now. And I love proving people wrong. So I love the pressure.
Yeah. What are some of those expectations you have for yourself going into this seventh time around?
Well, for instance, I have an A&E biography coming out next week, and it's the Legends series, which I didn't know it was for the Legends series. So I'm like, here I'm an active performer with the title Legend. That means I'm at the top of my game. I'm there. I've made it where like I still in my like own personal free time feel like I still have, so much further to go. Like still want to grow. I still want to learn. I still want to get better. I still want to, have that, the greatest performance of all time moment. So I just feel like all those things add up or weigh on me on a professional level, but it's good things. It's not bad. It's a good thing to have. I think it was like what makes me tick, how I'm wired.
Yeah. So who is Charlotte Flair now? How has your character evolved?
The people's queen. For so long, I told everyone else to bow down, whereas now I'm just embracing the journey. I wouldn't say that Charlotte's good. I wouldn't say she's bad. I think she just knows that, she's given her all for so many years. And this is what she loves. And she just wants, the audience to know that, whether she's acting up or, whether she's being bad or whether she's like being good. It's just, she's here to be the greatest of all time. And she's going to give you that consistency, that passion, that love for the business every time she goes out there. And I think that's very likable.
I love that. Being a superstar is in your blood. You talk about, this love for the business. Can you kind of talk about what WrestleMania and the WWE means to you? I know it's your family legacy, it's your family business, but most importantly, it was your brother's dream. So can you kind of dive into that and explain how that fuels you every day?
So specifically what WrestleMania means to me. So obviously to the world, it's a pop culture extravaganza. It's our Super Bowl, biggest show of the year, biggest rivalries, biggest stars. But for me, like when my brother died in 2013, it was the day before WrestleMania, and he was coming home for the first time to see me wrestle. I wasn't on WrestleMania. I was still in developmental, but I was at Access where we put on exhibition matches. So like every WrestleMania week, all those emotions are hitting me where I'm like, I'm walking into WrestleMania and I'm here because of him. Like, yes. And like 100% it was for him in the beginning. And now like, I will always carry him with me, but now it's still like, how did I get this far? How do I get this opportunity? And I guess I feel closest to him around this time because like WrestleMania is such a big deal to the superstars. Like everyone dreams of a WrestleMania and I'm living his dream. So when I'm out there at WrestleMania, I'm like, we did it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And my condolences to you and your family on your loss.
Oh, thank you.
Where does your confidence come from? I saw earlier on in your career, you talked about watching kind of Nikki Bella and seeing the way that she talked and walked and looking at her and being like, wow, like that's a
She's smart.
champion. And then
Yeah.
you had moments where you kind of second guessed yourself and were like, hey, where do I look when I'm walking? Even though you had that athleticism, but now it's complete opposite. So what changed for you and how did you get from that to who you are now?
Fake it till you make it, right?
Right.
Like, there's not moments now that I'm faking it. Like, now, like, I know how good I am and I'm proud of it because I know what it's taken to get there. I know the dedication that no one sees. I know the hours that I've spent that no one knows about. Like, I think that's what I hold so dear to me. That's why I have all that confidence, is knowing like I put in the groundwork. I also know that there will never be another talent like me because of how consistent I have been these last 10 years.
Mm.
Like, I don't even know how I got here, but like, I'm proud of that. Like, I'm super, like, I went through this like weird phase where I felt like I had to apologize for like having opportunities. And now I'm like, wait, it took me like 3 years after that to be like, why am I apologizing for having opportunities? Like, why do we as women feel like we have to say sorry?
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to say sorry. Like,
Yeah.
good. Like, don't dim your light to make other people feel comfortable.
Why did you feel that way? Why did you feel like you had to say sorry for those opportunities that came your way?
I think that I took the criticism to heart, and like, being an athlete, you know, when you're MVP or team captain or the camaraderie that comes along with sports, that's what I was raised in. Like, I've gymnastics, basketball, played volleyball in college, diving, softball, track, all those sports. Like, there's no one's telling you that you're only good at something because of your last name, or not telling you that, or even giving that perception. So like, I can't lose my last name. Like, I am who I am. But I felt like so many people felt that doors opened for me because of my lineage. So
Mm.
I always felt like I had this chip that I had to apologize for being Rick's daughter. And I really felt that, like, I just want these people to like not people, like, why? And I think it was not necessarily that it was true, but it was like my own pressure that I was putting on myself.
Mm.
Like, when you hear like, even today, when you hear your opponent say, well, why is she in the title picture so many times?
Yeah.
Like, it's a choice. Why aren't you asking yourself, why aren't you in the title picture that many times?
Mm.
Ask yourself that.
Yeah.
Like, but I think it takes age, and I think it takes experience and personal growth, and I don't know, like, it's taken a long time to feel that way.
Yeah.
Basically my whole career.
Yeah. Earlier on, you talked about how you know how much time and effort you put in. You are the queen of WWE, a 14-time women's SmackDown champion, and you've been one of the pioneers in making women's wrestling what it is today. What kind of work do you have to put in behind the scenes to get to that level individually? And then also, what kind of work do you have to put in to elevate this sport for women as a whole?
So here's an example. When you are the face of the division, you're not just wrestling. You're doing media, you're doing signings, you're doing all of the above extras, plus being the champ and making extra shows. That also means working on every single live event. So because I've been that so many years, I've done that so many years. Plus, when we go overseas, I don't stay out all night. I'm eating my grilled chicken and vegetables. It's making those sacrifices at the right time. Now, do I have fun? Yes, but I made the sacrifices early on to get to where I am today. And I can't, thank myself enough for being so disciplined early on, because I don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for being so hungry and knowing what it takes.
Yeah. So what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
I guess like two certain things, like, male or female, doesn't matter. She was one of the greatest of all times. I want to be in the conversation, gender aside. But I think, and for men too, but for women to know in any industry that you can make it to the top and stay at the top and be at the top in any boys club. And that's so important.
I love that. So switching gears, how exactly do you prepare for WrestleMania? You talk about chicken and veggies. What is your diet like?
Oh, miserable right now. No, actually for like this past week, it's been super high carb, so I can lean out next week. So it's been easy. So like this week, breakfast is chicken, asparagus, 2 tortillas.
Chicken for breakfast.
Chicken for breakfast.
I get that protein and I love it.
Girl. My favorite meal though for breakfast is oatmeal mixed with chocolate protein. Or an omelet. But then the next one is salmon and a potato. The next one after that is steak and rice, and then chicken, lettuce, cucumber for the last, with a protein shake mixed in there.
Wow. Very clean, but very delicious.
Real exciting. And by no means, like what I've learned over the years, it's moderation. So I try to follow it. It's not necessarily perfect all the time. Like I might get it right 2 days, and then, or like I'll add in a protein bar or salad or smoothie. Like it's just having some kind of layout or format that works. Yeah. Next week though, I'll probably be more like to the T.
Yeah. And then how do you prepare physically for WrestleMania?
An hour in the gym. That's it. If I can't get it done in an hour and 15 minutes, go home. Like listen to your body. I isolate muscle groups. Maybe one day is glutes, next day is shoulders and triceps, back and biceps. Like I just alternate every day. Yeah.
As far as the stunts and the flips and all that stuff, when do you practice those?
Oh no, that just comes with the territory now. What you see is what you get.
Wow.
Yeah.
So on the actual day of WrestleMania, what does your schedule look like? Walk me through the full day.
I don't know yet, but sometimes I could have an interview with Fox or ESPN in the morning, and then call time. So if we're in LA, it's probably 10:30 or 11. Well, we are in LA, but due to West Coast time. And then makeup, walkthroughs, camera angles, entrance practice, just to get the timing because the ramps are usually longer. And then getting glammed up because it's usually like the most glamorous, like the biggest robes, the brightest gear you have all year. So making sure all those are tweaked. And then if there's any, signings in between, or say, well, I think last year I had a DraftKings appearance during that day.
So the WWE has such a loyal fan base. What has your experience been like with the fans, and what has their support meant to you?
So my personal fans are as loyal as they come. They've been with me through it all. But what's so great about the WWE universe is they're going to either let you know if they like you or they don't like you. They're not going to be quiet.
What is it like being on the road 24/7?
I don't know anything else now. So when I'm home for more than 2 days, I'm like, okay, what's next? But I love being home. But it's just finding a schedule that works for you. Getting a routine, knowing how it goes, hotels, rent-a-cars, meals, all of it. Like I'm so used to it now. It's not like a thing.
Yeah. So looking ahead to your matchup, what do you think of that disrespect from Rhea Ripley telling you, a 14-time champion, that you're going to learn to call her champion and you're going to learn to fear her, and then taking a cheap shot at you. What was going through your head when she took that cheap shot?
Exactly. Talk is cheap.
Hmm.
I mean, talk is cheap, and my legacy is cemented. What I've done is done. What I mean to this industry. She has a long way to go to be thinking that I will have respect, but the last thing I will do will be calling her champion.
Oof. Fighting words. You guys went back and forth a few nights ago, but any other words to her ahead of the match?
Good luck. And you better bring your all.
Who else are you interested in facing in your career? Is there anyone that is kind of your
well, first Bianca Belair,
Mhm.
and then Liv Morgan, my next two.
Why is that?
Well, I've never had a rivalry with Bianca, and we always said, with the athleticism and very similar backgrounds, we can make magic. And then I've seen Liv from her start till now, and seeing how much she's grown. I just would love that opportunity with her.
Yeah. Are there any specific types of matches that you haven't done yet that you're just dying to do?
Mixed tag.
Okay.
Mixed tag.
Who would be your partner? Oh, I love that. Speaking of your husband, you recently got married this summer. Congratulations. What has married life been like for you, and how does having that relationship add to your life personally and professionally?
When you're doing well in your personal life, it makes everything better. So just, having that one person, your person at home after a good day or bad day, just makes it easier.
Oh, so WrestleMania is obviously the Super Bowl for you guys of your sport, but the next week, it picks up again with another event. What's next after this for you?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Sky's the limit, right? I ain't slowing down. I've got to get to 16. I've got to beat my dad's record.
Yes, love to hear it. Name it and claim it. Is there anything else you want the world to know about Charlotte Flair that they don't already know?
I guess that I embody pro wrestling with class, with dedication, blood, sweat, and tears. Like, I hope when people think of pro wrestling, they think of Charlotte Flair.